Hey guys, so these are going to be our Unit 4 vocabulary flip notes. It's your last vocabulary list of the year. There's still tons of words that we have already gotten to use through Unit 2, even in Unit 1, and especially in Unit 3. So these should be pretty easy for you. So you know what your evidence is. You got to use it to help prove your claim, to back it up, persuade your readers. You have theme, that's the lesson that the author wants you to learn. It's what you're supposed to get out of after you read that story. Then you have your text structure, which you all know, it's how the story is organized. So you're going to look for your description, compare and contrast, problem and solution, and so on and so forth. We still got figurative language. So, that's when you have a word or a phrase that means something different. So your simile, or it means something different than the literal meaning. You have your similes, metaphors, personification, onomatopoeia, alliteration. And we still have those idioms. So again, just a phrase that doesn't literally mean what it says, like it's a piece of cake, or you're burning the candle at both ends, or hitting the hay. Your mood and your tone, so it's you read something and you feel sad or happy or excited, or the author's writing something and they want you to feel suspenseful as they're writing or as you're reading the story. Point of view still around, so remember it's your first, using I, me, where the character's telling the story. Second person, where it's saying you and the author is talking directly to you, so think those choose your own adventure books. You have your third limited, where we only know one character's thoughts and feelings and the narrator's telling the story. And then we have third person omniscient, where your author's all-knowing, so you know what everybody is thinking, doing, and feeling. We still have our primary sources. So remember, like we talked about in the review game, you're at some ancient civilization site. You find this diary with handwritten of the ancient language, and you use that to teach and learn about that ancient civilization. So that would be a primary document. You still got your claim, where that's the side you're on. It's what you're trying to prove. Your thesis statement, don't forget, the thesis statement is similar to the claim, but it just ties up your introduction paragraph nicely to just sum up your claim and what your whole essay is going to end up being about. We also still have our central idea. Remember, this can be interchanged with main idea. Central and main idea mean the exact same thing. It's just the point of the story. And comparing and contrasting, you all know this as one of your text structures, where you're trying to find the similarities and differences between two or more things. You have your context clues. This is what you worked on with the Island of Blue Dolphin, where you had to find the word and try to figure out what it meant by using the sentence or the paragraph that it was used in. This is a new one, an anecdote. This is when you tell, as part of your introduction paragraph, when you use a short story, like only a couple sentences, that's just going to help hook your reader and draw them into your essay. So you all already know what the connotation means. Just like we talked about again in the review game with school, some people view it as positive while others view it as negative. And then you have your argument, which you have written 2 argumentative essays at this point, so y'all should be pros at this one. So we have our regular evidence, and then we have our supporting evidence. This one is slightly different because it appears in different categories of essays and thesis in the form of a paraphrase and quotations. So whereas you have your proof, which is, where you're talking about, you state your claim, and then some of your evidence might be some background knowledge, and it might not necessarily be a direct quote from something that you had read that still supports your claim. So that would fall under the supporting evidence. So this one is also new, a counter argument. That's when you state your argument, and then what the person who you're arguing with comes back at you and states their side. So say you thought it was 100% the captain's fault, but somebody thought it was 100% the designer's fault. You would state your claim and all of your evidence to prove that it was Captain Smith's fault that the Titanic sank, and then the other person would state all the evidence in their claim, saying that it was the designer's fault, and they would get all their proof and evidence to help them with that. You can then also have a rebuttal where you are refuting their claims. You're showing them, you're poking the holes in their argument. You're showing them where they're wrong, and you're giving more evidence to back up, again, what you're stating. So this is it for our Unit 4 vocabulary. Be ready to use these through another argumentative essay this unit, and also through different stories and activities that we'll be doing. All right, have a good night, guys.